Hello everybody! I am just getting everything all finished up and set up correct. Please let me know how everything sounds. I think I fixed the microphone situation, so please let me know how the microphone sounds, how the background music sounds. Currently, by the way, we are listening to a friend of mine's music named Finn Dunham. You should find links in the description down below for more of his stuff. He's going to be consistently giving us more and more music to throw into the backgrounds just because he's a cool dude and he makes some cool music. So go check him out. Today we are crocheting we're finishing up our crab. We're going to talk more about that in the intro. I do need to go make myself a quick coffee, but I'll be on in just a moment. Go ahead and get your materials and vote now on what you want what customizations you want for our crab. We're voting between a giant crown. He's going to have a crown anyhow, but a giant crown, a trident, a robe, or armor. I think armor? No, wait. Trident. Oh, a mustache. That was the last one. I'm going to try to add maybe two, definitely one, but maybe two of those customizations we're going to see. Okay, we'll be on in just a moment and see you in a sec. All right, sorry, I'm getting it going in just a moment. I just realized I don't have the chat opened in the way I want it to. By the way, we are currently streaming portrait mode and landscape mode simultaneously. Now, I prefer personally the landscape mode, the horizontal version, but because YouTube loves to confuse the audience, they they push our portrait mode version of the videos out way more than the horizontal mode. So we also are streaming on portrait mode. If you're watching at portrait mode, I suggest switching over to the horizontal one. I put a link at the top of the chat that should be pinned there, so you can jump over to the other one if you ever want to. But just so you know, we're on both. So if you're like, hey, he's talking about comments that aren't here, that's because it's probably in the landscape mode that I'm replying to. Yeah, so just heads up that there. We're gonna get going in just a moment. Sorry for the delay. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm working on it. All right, let's rock and roll. Again, let me know how the music is. I don't know if it's too loud or not. But yeah. All right, let's rock and roll. 3, 2, 1. Hello. Hello. Hi. I meant to turn this camera down slightly today because I realized after watching it last time that like I look so short because I am short, but I don't need you guys to know that I'm short. So I'm going to flip the camera down a little bit better. There's that brutal Louis honesty about himself. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you're having a absolutely wonderful week. Happy Work in Progress Wednesday if you are crocheting along with us on a Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day. Hi Celia, hi Watermelon, hi Cooper. Thank you everybody for joining today. I know it's a weird day for a live stream. I'm usually a Friday streamer, but you know, Work in Progress Wednesday. And I thought this way we can save our Friday live stream for Valentine's Day, so we can make something for Valentine's Day, which would be kind of fun. Okay, well, what are we doing today? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you can support this channel, and then all of the materials you need, and then let's get hooking. Sound like a plan, Stan? Great. Is Stan here? Stan, right here. Yeah. Hi. Okay. So what are we? I don't even have coffee in me. I didn't even have time to make a coffee. Jules is gonna do us a favor and make us a coffee, but I got that sweet crochet energy right now, and we are gonna run by the seat of my butt to make it happen. You know what? Hold on. There we go. Lighting. Lighting is key. Okay. All right. So what are we doing? We're crocheting a crab today using the new pattern. So this is a brand new design that is out now on the website for our brand new crab named Henry the Crab. So we are crocheting our crab today. We already started this last week and we've made a whole bunch of parts. Now what's really cool about this crab is it's actually posable with the crab claws being able to open and close. They can even spin around 100 or 360 degrees. It's a really, really cool pattern. Honestly, not too complicated. I noticed today that there was a lot of people in the Club Crochet website that have finished the pattern already and uploaded pictures of it. So congratulations to everybody that has done that. Thank you so much for doing that. And we'll talk more about that at the end of today's live stream. And we'll probably upload our own pictures and stuff like that. But that's what we're making today. And yeah, all you need to do, we have already kind of started. So let me show you what we've gotten started with, and then we'll talk about everything that you need for it. Yeah, let's do it that way. So put this guy back to the side for right now. We have already made 2 claws. So we've already got the claws made. Look at those. Aren't they cute? We decided to make it in red. So that's where we're at right now. That's why it's all red. So we made our claws. We've made all of our limbs. We have 8 little tiny legs to add to our piece. We've made the body. We just haven't added the face. So that is what today is all about, is we are customizing our character today using your suggestions. So go in the chat, you'll find a link so that you can vote on what we want to do to customize it. We're either customizing it with a trident, we're going to make a mustache, we're going to make a giant crown, or we're going to do a I keep forgetting about what the last one is. Anybody remember what the last one was? A robe? Yeah, that's it. Oh no, a mustache. A mustache is the last optional one. So those are all the things that we are going to possibly add. It's going to be up to you on what we add. So go ahead and vote now using the link in the link spot. So that's the main thing that we're doing today, is we're crocheting this guy. I'll talk about all the materials you need in just a moment. But the other thing we're going to be doing today, to thank you for 100 likes on our last live stream, is we are going to do a live Amigurumi pattern. And I think we're going to start with that. Just to get that out of the way, I'm going to record the process of me designing a Amigurumi live, and then I'll add it to the website later this week. So we'll have a new Amigurumi pattern in addition to everything. Now, to keep this ball rolling, if this video gets 125 likes, we'll up it by 25. If this video gets 125 likes today, either one of the portrait mode or the landscape mode, we will Watermelon just teleported from the horizontal to the portrait mode. That's funny. We will do a giveaway next live stream. So if you want to unlock a giveaway, go ahead and like this video down below. Give it a little like, please. Speaking of, if you like what's going on today and you think it's really cool, you should try to support this channel. There's a bunch of different ways to support this channel. You can support for free, and it's really easy. All you need to do is do what I just said. Like this video down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, so you don't miss when we come out with new videos. We do live streams like this every week, and it's a great way to support this channel. Follow us on all the social media things. We're on Instagram. We're technically on TikTok, but I'm not really posting there anymore. We're even on Reddit. We're obviously on YouTube. So check us out all over the place. That's really sweet of you. You do not have to support monetarily, obviously, but if you can and if you want to, there's a bunch of different ways you can support monetarily. The first, probably best way to support monetarily is with a Club Crochet membership. Members get early access to future patterns. They get access to the exclusive library of tutorials, like our new crab tutorial that's on the website for members. You can find it at clubcrochet.com/crab. We have a whole bunch of them though. We have little tiny goblins. I mean, there's like 300 different patterns in there. We got spaceships. We've got little fireflies that actually hang and have glow-in-the-dark eyeballs. There are so many patterns on the website. It's kind of crazy. Check out this one. This one's a little UFO with a little alien on it. So if you want to get access to all of those patterns, and look, you can turn it even into a regular UFO. So it's kind of like a little toy. There we go. It's like a regular UFO, or you pop it in, and it's a little spot for your little alien to sit in there, and then little alien. Okay, well, you get the gist. There's a whole bunch of patterns on the website. You can learn more at clubcrochet.com. Please consider a membership to help support this channel. There's a bunch of kits and merch in the store. We've got crochet kits with all the materials you need that we're going to be working out of today. There's a bunch of pins and stickers. I'm working on future some more merch for the future as well. So keep a lookout for additional merch coming up. Hold on, I just realized it bent it a little too far. There we go. That's our sweet spot right there. Okay. No, it's not. It's not our sweet spot. That's our sweet spot right there. Perfect. Love it. Okay, yes, a bunch of different ways to support monetarily. The last way is with a tip. If you really, really like what's going on here, you can tip us. The best way probably is with a super chat. If you're live on YouTube, there's a little dollar icon in the chat. If you super chat today, I'll throw something out on screen that you'll be able to name. Last week, I believe we had Kaylin, I think. Someone supported, oh, actually, maybe it was Celia, supported and added this little hermit crab to our background. So we're going to reset it today, but if you want to add any kind of little crabs or anything into the background, all you need to do is support with a little super chat. So this is not what the crab we're making today looks like, by the way. So let me show you that too. Okay, I think that's everything. The last thing I want to talk about is all the materials you need. We're using worsted weight yarn, 100% cotton. It's just my favorite kind of yarn to use. You can really use any kind of yarn you want. I just like worsted weight cotton yarn. It's my favorite kind of yarn to use for amigurumi and just in crocheting in general. We're going to be using red for our main color of our crab, white for the secondary color. We'll need a little bit of black for the mouth. Outside of the yarn, and again, you can use any kind of yarn. Because we're using worsted weight yarn, we're going to be using a size G 4mm crochet hook. Favorite hook to use with that yarn. We just ran out of crochet hooks, so we just placed a new order for crochet hooks. Hopefully ones with a little logo on it. That's what we're aiming for. Let's see. We have, yeah. Okay, so that's all the materials you need. Oh, you also want some stuffing. Okay. And some safety eyes. We're going to be using various types of safety eyes today. Okay, so before we get crocheting onto our main pattern, we're going to place all these to the side because we first want to make, oopsie, sorry, Mr. Camera. We first want to make a Amigurumi design. So where can I put this where it's going to be safe and we're not going to forget that it's there? We're going to put it right here. There we go. All right, so we're going to come back to that in just a moment. Now, I did get us a little bit prepared today by testing out this pattern a little bit. So here's what we're doing, by the way. I'm designing, I'm low-key designing. I've already kind of designed it, but I don't remember totally how I designed it. So we're gonna remember it together. I'm gonna get your feedback as we're going as well. And then after today's live stream, me and Cooper are gonna throw this onto the website as soon as we possibly can. I'll get all the photos done. Probably expect around Monday. Oh, coffee, thank you. You want to say hi?
I'll say hi off camera. Hi off camera.
That's Jules saying hi off camera. Thank you, darling. Love you.
Love you.
You gotta love a coffee. Look at how cute, too. It says morning handsome, isn't that? Can you see it? Isn't that cute? It looks so nice. What a wonderful wife. I should marry her again. Okay, so yes, we are designing a Amigurumi live. So heads up, this might have a little bit of goofs and flubs about it, but we're gonna do our best. I'm gonna record the process and then we're gonna get it on the website as soon as I possibly can afterwards. Does that sound great to everybody? While I'm doing this Amigurumi design, I probably won't be paying too much attention to the chat just because it's a lot for me to do to like pay attention to the chat and design this and crochet it. It's just a lot. I will look at the chat every now and then, so heads up, I will be paying attention a little bit. But if you have any questions as we're going, please feel free to ask in the chat and I'll get to them as soon as I possibly can. Celia, what kind of coffee is it? It is a wonderful latte that she made using, I think we're using like some kind of Starbucks coffees as our little thing. My mother and father-in-law for our wedding gift got us an espresso maker, so we have lattes and I love them so much. Okay, let's throw this to the side and let me show you what we are basically designing right now. So we're going to be designing one of these little itty bitty crabs to go with our big boy crab. So this is our normal size crab. I want to make little babies. So that's what we're doing right now. We're going to make these mini Amigurumi crabs. Here, wait, let me restart this recording so that I can get like a pretty solid video here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to be crocheting these little miniature crabs today. Amigurumi designs are designs that I just make with 100 stitches or less with no sewing at all. We've made little crabs in the past. We've made these little tiny hermit crabs, which are also very cute. And we're going to use some of the techniques that we've used in this one a little bit in this little crab as well. But as you can tell, they are different. You can take the shell off of these hermit crabs and you can really see the difference in shaping. So it's pretty significantly different, to be completely honest. But we're going to be using some techniques that we figured out in this little hermit crab as well. This is part of a series I do of 100 patterns or less designs that I really am enjoying making. And so I thought, of course, we should do one for a little crab. So let's go ahead and get started. We're using worsted weight yarn 100% cotton today. Like I said, it's just my favorite kind of yarn to use. We'll be using orange for our main color. And then we'll need some safety eyes for the eyes. You might need a little tiny bit of stuffing. For a crochet hook, we're using a size G 4mm crochet hook. Favorite hook to use, there we go, with the yarn we're using, which is that worsted weight Amigurumi cotton yarn. You'll need a pair of scissors and a needle for sewing in hard to reach stitches. Now let's just get started with a magic loop. Now, if you've never made the magic loop before, check out the video tutorial I'll put up here somewhere. This tutorial, because it's going to be so mini and we're doing it live, I'm not going to take too much time going through the details. If you're a complete beginner and you've never crocheted before in your life, I suggest checking out our 101 series that you can find at crocheting101.com. It's a great series to teach you how to crochet. We have a lot of easy to crochet mini Amigurumi patterns there as well that'll teach you how to crochet, but we're not going to be really doing that in today's video. Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna basically be reading my pattern by looking at the actual design itself as I go. So as I go, I'm gonna be looking and I'm gonna say, okay. So I think we're gonna start with, yeah, okay, I see what I did. I made an oval. All right, so we're gonna start with, we are gonna start with 6 single crochets into the magic loop to start. That's how we're going to start it. 6 single crochets into our magic loop just as our first round. Now we want to make this kind of ovular, you know, like more of an oval shape than a real circle. So the first round is going to be pretty simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stitches into our first round. And that looks pretty good. And as I go, I'm going to kind of like bring it closer and closer to the camera if I can, so we can kind of see what we're doing as we go. All right, so that's going to be round 1, 6 single crochets into the magic loop. For round 2, we're going to go into the first stitch right here, and we're going to do the following stitches. Let's see. Let me look at this. I believe we're making it more oval shape, so we're doing, got it. We're going to do the following repeat 2 times. The repeat's going to be 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 2 single crochets into the second stitch. That's going to be an increase stitch in the second stitch, and then 3 single crochets in the third stitch. So basically like an increase plus 1 extra stitch. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that, and then we're going to repeat that again, and that's going to create more of an oval than a circle shape. So we'll go into our first stitch here. Now I'm not going to create a stitch marker just because it's so tiny that we've only got a few stitches to work with anyhow. We're going to throw our tail end over our crochet hook as we go, just to kind of keep it locked into place. And we'll start with 1 single crochet into that very first stitch. So there's our first one made. Second one's going to be right here. Let's do an increase into that stitch. 1, and then another one in the same exact stitch for an increase. Okay, so 1 in the first, 2 single crochets in the second. Third stitch is going to be right here, and in that stitch we're going to do 3 single crochets into that same stitch. So that's 1, and in the same stitch will be 2, and in the same stitch will be 3. Okay, so now we're going to repeat that process one more time to get to the end of the round, and we'll just keep working around this tail end until we get to the end of this round. So that's 1 single crochet in the first, and then an increase into the second, so 2, and then a 3 single crochet, like kind of cluster there, into that third stitch, and that'll be the end of the round. You should have 12 stitches now, and you kind of see how it's making a little bit more of an oval shape than a circle, which is definitely what we're going for. Okay, so that's going to be round 2. We've increased up a little bit there. Now round 3 is going to be a little trickier, so I need to really look at this to figure out round 3. In round 3, we're going to create these little legs and the claw here into all of our stitches. Now it looks like, yeah, every stitch themselves is going to be a single crochet. So in round 3, we're just going to do single crochets all the way around, but then we're going to throw legs into all of these places. There are basically 3 different types of legs that we're going to work with. The first one we're going to call just like back legs. Okay, so these are going to be these tiny little bump of legs. Actually, maybe we do it these longer way. Yeah, let's do it this way so it's a little bit more pronounced of legs. So see, I made 2 of these to kind of test it out, like how long I want the legs. So we're going to do these longer ones. Okay, so we have 2 different kinds of legs. We have back legs that are going to be these tinier ones here, front legs that are going to be these little bit longer ones, and then claws that are going to be in the front right here. Every one of these is going to be made differently. We're going to make 4 back legs, 1 front leg, 1 claw, a few stitches in between, another claw, another front leg, and then that'll be the end of the round. And then in the round after this, we're going to work into each stitch, working around the legs to keep them on the inside. That's the goal. Okay, so let's start off with a back leg. And then as I make these legs, by the way, it's going to be a single crochet pretty much between each one. So we're going to start with a back leg. Back leg is going to be chain 3. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah. Back leg, we're going to do chain 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3 chains to start. We're going to skip that first chain, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the back loops of the second and third chain. So we're going to turn it on the back right here, skip that first one, and then the second and third one right there and there, we're going to do a slip stitch. So we're going to go into that stitch, like this, and yarn over, pull it through the chain and through the loop on the hook for a slip stitch. So there's 1, and then into this next back loop right there, we're going to do a second one. Boom, 2 slip stitches. And that's going to be a back leg. So let's, after making a back leg, we're going to single crochet into the next stitch right here. Just one single crochet. Okay, now I'm going to repeat that 4 times to make 4 legs. So make a leg, single crochet 4 times. So there's our first one. Let's do our second. Again, our back legs, we chain 3. We're going to skip that first chain and slip stitch into the back loop of the second chain right there. We'll go 1, and then another one right here will be 2. Okay, and then a single crochet. So pretty easy there. So we just want to make 4 of those. By the way, if you have extra questions, obviously during the live stream, comment in the chat. But if you have questions outside of that, make sure to comment down below. You can check out our Discord and Facebook group. Those are great places for you to ask questions, get help, or just hang out with some like-minded crocheters. Links for everything I'm talking about are going to be in the description. I'm also going to throw this onto the website with photo tutorials too. So if you are getting stuck and you're like, I need better instructions, just wait patiently if you're watching live, and it'll be up on the website sometime next week. Okay. That's pretty good. That's our 4 legs. So we got a leg and then a single crochet 4 times. Now we're going to make our front leg. Our front leg is just going to be slightly longer. We're going to do a single crochet in this next stitch. I forgot to do that part for our repeat. So that's 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Now our front leg, we're going to do, this time we're going to chain 4. So we're just going to make it 1 stitch longer. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to skip that first chain there, get into the back bumps, and slip stitch into each one all the way down for the second, or for the first front leg. So that's going to be the front leg. It's basically the back leg with 1 extra stitch. So just chain 4, skip the first, slip stitch all the way down for 3 slip stitches total, and then we'll single crochet into the next stitch to finish that part up. Okay. Nice. So there's our back leg. Now we want to do our claw. Now there's 2 claws that we want to make. There's going to be a right claw and a left claw. And unfortunately, you're going to have to make each one slightly different than the other one to get them to like kind of face in the same direction. You know what I mean? So each one's going to be made different. I did write this one down, which is good. I'm glad Louis wrote. Louis writing things down, ain't that something novel? All right, so we are going to chain for our right claw, we're going to chain 3. I'm sorry, chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's our start. We chain 6. We're going to skip that first chain, and we're going to work into the back bumps. And using the second and third chain from the hook, we're going to single crochet 2 together. So that means we're going to go into this second chain from the hook right here. Get our crochet hook in there. Like that. And then we're going to yarn over and pull a loop through. Like that. Now we're going to go into the next chain. So not this one, but the one over from it right here. And pull a second loop through that second chain. Now once you have 3 loops on the hook, we're going to finish a single crochet 2 together by yarning over and pulling through all the loops. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And that's going to create this nice little point at the end there. Okay. All right, after making that single crochet 2 together, we want to make a mini picot. For a mini picot, we chain 2, 1, and 2. And in the back bump of that first chain that we made, we get our crochet hook in there, and we just slip stitch 1 into that back bump. Like that. And see, that's going to be what creates our little tiny claw shape at the end. Okay. So there's our mini picot. Now we want to do another single crochet 2 together using the next 2 chains right here. So, single crochet 2 together using the connecting chain that we just worked into in the last one and the next chain over. Right? Yes, okay. So we want to start by going into the connecting chain that we worked our single crochet 2 together in right here and pull a loop through it. And then we want to go into the next chain over right here and pull a second loop through that. And now once we have all 3 loops on our hook, we yarn over and pull through 1, 2, and 3 like that. All right. After that second single crochet 2 together, we want 1 single crochet into the next chain. So right here, we'll do 1 single crochet. And then finally, to end our right claw, we want to do a slip stitch into our last chain. So right here, we want 1 slip stitch like that. And that's going to make one of our claws. You can kind of see it shaped together. Now, I like to also pinch the claw shape a little bit to give it more of a, a claw shape. So I'll pinch it together like that, and it'll kind of create more of a point. Which kind of, yeah, you can kind of see it, right? Okay. All right, so there is our right claw. Now, how many stitches do we want between claws? Let's count here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, it looks like, between claws. So we make our right claw, and we'll single crochet 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now we want to do our left claw right here, and then we'll single, then we'll do our back foot, and then we'll do another single. Okay, so left claw. Left claw is going to be made slightly different than the right one. For the left claw, we're going to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to do a mini picot. So we're going to chain 2 more. 1, 2. Skip that first chain and slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. So really, I could have said, another way to say this first part would be chain 5, skip the first and slip stitch into the next. But we did it chain 3 and mini picot, which is the same thing. Okay, after adding that mini picot, that little point there, we want to chain 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. We'll skip that first chain and then single crochet 2 together using the next 2 chains. So right here, we'll go 1 into that next loop, and then into the loop after that right here to do a second loop through. Once you have 3 loops on the hook like that, you can yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, we want to do another single crochet 2 together, but using the loop that's connecting right here. That's part of the mini picot. So we want to start into that stitch, pull a loop through, and then we'll go into the next stitch over right here and pull a second loop through like that. Now we should have 3 loops on the hook again. We'll yarn over, pull through 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Now the last 2 stitches for our left claw is going to be 1 single crochet into the next chain right here. There we go. And then 1 slip stitch into the last chain, which is going to be right. Oops, slip stitch. There we go. All right, and that's going to be the left claw made. Now we've got both of our claws, and we only have 1 more leg to make. So go ahead and we'll single crochet into the next stitch right here on the body. And then we're going to make 1 more bigger leg. For that bigger, the front leg, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll skip that first chain and then slip stitch into the back bumps of all the chains back down to the body. 1. Oops, there we go. 2. And 3. There we go. And then we're going to single crochet into our last stitch, which is going to be right here. And will be the end of round 3. You can kind of see how that all kind of comes together in this like weird kind of shape. And honestly, this is already kind of a cool crab applique. So you could put this on a little hairpin. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. So that's going to be the end of round 3. Now for round 4, I need to look at our finished project to really figure out what I did for round 4, because I did not write this part down. Looks like going to be D. Wait. Sorry. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so round 4 is going to be pretty easy. For round 4, we're just going to single crochet into each stitch around, but you want to work around the legs and the claws. So you want to make sure those are on the outside. So what I like to do for that is pull my loop out like that to give it a little bit more room to move. Then go into the next stitch. The next stitch is going to be right here, right after this leg. So if you follow the leg down, that's going to be the stitch. Yarn over, pull it through that stitch, keep the leg on the outside like that, and once the leg is on the outside, you can kind of hold it down. You can pull the yarn and it'll pull that loop really tight so that it's around the outside as well. Then we'll yarn over and pull through both loops, 1 and 2, and that'll be our single crochet. So you want to do that for every stitch around, making sure to work around the legs. We'll do around this next leg, pull the loop out, pull the leg forward, get into the next stitch with your crochet hook, pull a loop through that. Once you have that loop pulled through, you pull nice and tight to make sure that leg is sitting on the outside, and then we'll single crochet. Okay, let's keep doing that. Anybody in the chat have any questions about what we're doing right now? Let me know if you got trapped or stuck at any point. We're nearly done actually with this little crab. And then after this, we'll get continuing on our giant crab. Our king crab, which we will need a name suggestions for as well in the chat. Okay, once we're at this claw here, I'm going to pull that claw up and just make sure the claw is on the outside of our piece as I continue these single crochets down. All right, just a few more stitches to go. I love a little tiny crab. I love a little tiny pattern in general, but I really like the idea of giving this crab minions or little agents to do their kingly bidding. All right, keep this extra leg on the outside as we single crochet into our last stitch, which is going to be right after that leg, right there, like that. Okay, you can really see the shaping coming together now. And we're actually nearly done. I think we might only even have just one more round to go. Let me look on our final piece here so I can kind of really look at it. That's the last one, so decrease 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we only have one more round to go. So before I even do our last round, let's add our face to our crab so that we can get that all connected together before we do that last round. It probably is going to be a lot easier. So let's start. I'm going to pull my loop out here, and we're going to add our face. Let's start with our safety eyes. We're going to be using 6mm safety eyes for this. I got this cute little bottle of eyes with our logo on it. I think we might, actually no, I think we might be sold out of those. I'm not sure. But check out our shop. Maybe we have some left over, or maybe I'm adding more in. I don't know. Okay, so first up are the eyes themselves, and the eyes are going to go right above where the claws are, one stitch up. Specifically, it looks like it's going to be in round 2, stitches number, hold on, this is round 2, stitch number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So stitch number, round 2, stitch 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10 are the eye of the locations. So round 2 will be, this is round 1, this is round 2, stitch number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is going to be right there. Like that. And then what I say, 10, I think? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will be right there. Did I say 10? Yes, okay. Just want to make sure. Pretty good. Yeah, I like that location for the eyes. I think you could probably put them in other locations too, but this way they're kind of up on the top, which will probably work out in the best. So we're going to lock these on the inside like this. 1 and 2. And now those eyes ain't going nowheres. All right, before continuing on to the body, the other thing we want to do is I'm going to take this tail end from the very beginning, and we're going to use it as one of our whiskers. Now, I don't think you technically need to add these whiskers if you don't want to. You could do it in a bunch of different ways. And in fact, on these ones, I added the whiskers after the fact, so they're actually kind of free moving. So I just kind of sewed a string in there and knotted the end. So I can show you how to do that if you're interested. In the chat, let me know if you are confused about how that works. But instead of doing that, I'm going to use our tail ends for this exact thing, so that way they're actually attached to the piece and we don't have an extra piece of yarn. So we're going to thread on this tail end from the very beginning first to make one of our two little whiskers. We'll go under this, under the eye right here and come out in between the stitch. So see how I'm like actually in between the V of the stitch? Like that. Okay. Pull that through. And we want it to be pulled through in the right way. That's probably good for now. I'm not going to do that knotting and cutting until we have our other tail end, so that way I can make sure both of them are at the same distance. The other whisker end is going to come from the actual tail end that we used to sew it all closed, by the way. Okay, speaking of, let's do our very last round of our little mini crab here. And our last round is going to just be pretty easy. We're going to do an invisible decrease for every stitch around. You should have 12 stitches around, so by doing an invisible decrease for every stitch, that should bring us down from 12 to 6 stitches. So you should have 6 stitches by the end of our final round here. 1, 2, I think we're on round 5, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. So for round 5, our last round, we go front loop only, and then the next front loop only, like that. And then we're gonna just do a decrease. So yarn over, pull through, and pull through 2. We're gonna do that for 6 stitches around. Okay, and that's gonna obviously bring us down to our final stitch count, and we'll stuff it up and sew it closed and use that second end as our other mustache, or other whisker, I should say. Okay, that stitch didn't want to play nicely. There we go. I think that's 3. Only a couple more. You could use a different version of decreasing here, by the way, like our single crochet 2 together that we used in the claw. There's a bunch of different ways to decrease. I just like the invisible decrease. I think it looks cleanest. Speaking of, we got one last invisible decrease right here. We'll go front loop only, and then another front loop right there, and then we'll do our single crochet. Okay, now to finish up our little crab, we're gonna cut the yarn. You don't need too long of an end. We just need this long enough to sew it closed and to use as a whisker. And we're just gonna pull it all the way through. Now before sewing it closed, let's stuff it just a little bit. We actually don't need to stuff it too thoroughly. Because it is a Amigurumi, I usually can use even like tail ends of my yarn as stuffing too. But we'll just use real stuffing for right now. And I like using a little stick to help guide the stuffing into the piece. Like this. Alright, and that's, honestly, this is probably enough stuffing. Because it's so tiny, you don't really need too much stuffing. Alright. And then we're just gonna, we just need to sew it closed. So we'll take our tail end here and do a simple sew closed. To sew closed, I'm gonna take my needle. We're gonna go into the front loops only of all these stitches all the way around. And just pull it through all of these front loops like this. All right. Oops, that one was, I split the yarn by accident, so let's. There we go. Now I'm gonna pull nice and tight, which is gonna close that up. Boop, like that. We're gonna go back down into the center here and out through this stitch right there. So 2 over from where that first whisker is, out through the center of the stitch. Like that. And pull nice and tight, flatten the bottom of them. Okay, and then the last thing we want to do is we want to create a knot in both of these whiskers so that it doesn't get too frayed. Just gonna make one little knot at the end here. It might be nice to do 2 knots, but we'll just do 1. And we're just gonna pull it nice and tight, shorten enough. This is gonna be how long your whisker is. So I think that's probably pretty good. And now we wanna kind of try to mimic that same distance with this second whisker best we can. So I'm Sometimes I like to hold it up like that. Bring this down. It's pretty good. Pull nice and tight there. And we'll create these 2 little knots like that. And then we'll just cut nice and close to the knot. Like that. 1 and 2. Looks like our second whisker was a little bit longer, so let's see if I can't pull this first whisker a little bit more. Nice. That worked. Okay. And I would say that is it. That's going to be how to make a little miniature crab. Let's go ahead and make sure all of our limbs are the way that we want them to be. Looks pretty cute. We can kind of angle his claws up too. What do you think? Not bad. I like it. We'll put him down right here. Looks like a crab to me. Cool. All right. And that's going to be how to make a little Amigurumi crab. Very cool. Okay. So we're going to throw this to the side. And let's get to our main event now. Thank you so much for your patience there. And thank you for all the likes. Again, if this video gets 125 likes today, we are going to do a giveaway next live stream. So go ahead and give this video a like down below. All right. Mini crab, c'est fini. It is time for the big crab. The big crab. Let's get our pieces together. Let's drink our coffee. Oh no, I spilled. Pretty bad, actually. One moment, please. I luckily have this nifty, oh my gosh, I spilled rag. Easy squeezy lemon peasy. Now it's just going to be nice and sticky. Okay. All right, let's make our king crab now. I'll throw this one off to the corner here, and let's finish up our crabs. Okay, so where were we on our main crab? Thanks, therefore I ams. Let's go ahead and open up the crochet pattern. If you don't have the pattern yet, you can find it at clubcrochet.com/crab. There should be a link in the description down below of this video if you want to get to it really quick. And luckily we have kept our space. So we are on round... Where's the body? Ah, there it is. We are on round 12, I believe. Just make sure. Yes. Okay, so we're on round 12 of the body, which is actually, yeah, we'll do this next round, round 12, and then we'll add all of our face parts in. So if you're following along with the crochet pattern, again, you can find it at clubcrochet.com/crab. I'm going to be continuing from round 12 here. And like our first part of the video, I'm not going to be actually teaching how to crochet this pattern in today's video, because I do have a full video tutorial where I go into details about, like, here's how to crochet it all. So I don't really need to do that today. This is more of a crochet along. So if you do have any questions or you're stuck at any point, let me know, but I'm not going to go into detail about how to crochet this pattern or what each round looks like. Just to make it a little easier, because like I said, it's kind of hard to do a live crochet along on camera with the chat and explain the pattern all at the same time. Sometimes I feel like I'm burning like a candle at both ends when I'm doing it like this. Speaking of, have we voted on the customization? It looks like our customization pretty solidly was a giant crown, which is going to be very interesting. We're going to have to figure out how that's going to work. Wow, a giant crown. Y'all want a gigantic crown? We're going to make a gigantic crown. All right. There's our decreases. Now, I think we can add our crown specifically at the very end. and then all the other customizations. You know, we can do the crown and the, if you want to add like a mustache or whatever, we can do that at the end. But before we do that, we do need to add just a face that's going to go under everything. So what is this guy going to look like and all the other stuff. Now, the first thing we need are safety eyes. So I can use either, I believe these are 10s. Actually, these are 12 millimeter. I think these are 10s. I really should write this down. Oh no, these are 12 millimeter. Okay, so these are 8s. I think 8s is going to be a good size, but we'll look. I don't think necessarily we need to give it like a blind eye or anything. I do think we could add some customizations to the eyes and stuff, but we're going to add a pretty big crown, and this will give us more time for other things that we want to add to it. I will say I do have some of these already painted, but I just don't feel like any of our painted eyes is really going to be what works here. So let's just stick with our regular eyes for now. You don't think it needs to be giant? Well, the vote says, Kaylin, and I gotta adhere to the vote that I have created. It doesn't need to be that giant. We don't need to make it humongo, like bigger than he is, but a big crown, it's not gonna be that hard to do. I don't think. We'll find out together. Okay. So what stitches? Eyes are going to go into round 7, stitches 18 and 24. It says past Louis, so let's figure out where that is. So into round 1, and round 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is going to be round 7, stitch 1, and we want 18, 20, 18, 24. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I gotta say, I usually do not, I used to not write exactly what stitches the eyes were in, and I would say like, eyes go into this round and about this far apart. But recently I've changed it to being like, here's exactly where I put my eyes if you want to put them there. And I will say, it's extremely helpful for me to go back and remake stuff. 18, well, this eye looks a little wonky. Hold on. Not the location for it. It's the little, it's got like little plastic crusties on the outside. Crusties! Oh my gosh. Speaking of crusties, this guy needs a name. Do you have any ideas for a name for a crab that's a king? Come on, you gotta have some names. We got Zoe in the chat. Hey Zoe, by the way. Hope you're having a good day. Hope your mom's feeling better. So 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 is going to be right here. Okay, here, let's do that one again. I like that. I think that's a good location for the eyes. Okay, so there's our eyes. Here, we should lock them into place. Now for the mouth, I'm kind of like starting to feel more and more like we should really add a mustache to this guy. I know we didn't get the vote for mustache, but it just feels right. You know what I mean? Chat, what do you think? Because it feels like a mustache would make a lot of sense. And if we do a mustache, it'll cover up any mouth anyhow. So I think that for our mouth, we should just make it be a very simple smile. I've done a few different kinds of these crabs already. We've got this one here, which just has like a classic smile. This is what I'm thinking of adding to this guy, but I'm open to suggestions. And then the other one I made was this one, who doesn't really have a classic smile. He's got kind of like a little like cat smile, which I don't think we should do this smile. This is distracting, I think. But a simple smile is not bad. Or maybe we make it more of like a fat face or a grumpy face. I don't know. What do you guys think? Open to thoughts and suggestions. Ooh, King Claudius is a great name, Celia. If you can, put that in a in that link that is at the top of the chat, by the way. I mean, feel free to put it in the chat as well, but if you put it there, it'll be easier for us to re-reference later. And we're going to do a vote at the end of today's stream too, by the way. Okay. A determined face. Yeah, maybe actually a frowny face. You know what? I know what we can do. Let's draw. One of my favorite things to do. Let's draw. Okay. So, we know we got this general shape of a crab. I'm just gonna do this for like the body, and then that for the color. And then we got eyes like this. Actually, that's a little far away. There we go. And then obviously we got claw. I'm not gonna draw the claw. Whatever, we'll draw the claw. Goes like that. And then okay, so there's our claws. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's our crab. Now, face options. We could do a smile. So let me just draw some things here. We got regular smile. We could do a frowny smile. I think a frown actually might be kind of fun because it might make him look like grumpy, and then we could give him like big eyebrows or something, and then maybe a mustache that goes over the thing. So I am pro a frown, but I'm open to ideas. Raven, what did Raven say? Cream Crabalicious, that's funny. Okay, we could also do like this fat face like that. I always love doing that. It's like a kind of an animal, or not Animal Crossing, Adventure Timey kind of looking face. Let's draw his crown really quick because we know we want that. I think the crown's gonna be like, I'm gonna not make it too complicated. Is this big enough to be giant? Because I was going to make it really tiny before. Is that big enough to be giant? Or do we go big, like giant? I don't know. Let me know. We'll also put like rubies or something in it, like this. You know? Maybe beads. Yeah, I'm open to thoughts on the crown though. If you feel we should do something different for the crown. And then the mouth, I'm just gonna make the executive decision and say he's gonna have eyebrows. I feel like a king without eyebrows feels weird. I don't know why. It just feels like bushy eyebrows makes a lot of sense for a king. Maybe it'll be white. I don't know. I'm open to thoughts there. Ooh, Kaylin thinks we should do like a straight face. Yeah. We like the size of the big pinch. We like the shape of the size of the crown. Yeah, he should look like he's judging us peasants. I like that. Okay, so maybe just like a straight, like this, and maybe try to get his eyes to look a little bit more down. Maybe we can add like a little white to the outside of the eyes to make him more cartoony. Yeah, maybe like that. And let's just draw it to see what it looks like if we had whiskers. I'm no promises here about a mustache, but just to see what we got with the mustache. Mustache kind of makes him look a little too kind, maybe. Regardless, I think a frowning kind of face gives us more room for personality. You know? So I think we go with the frown. I really like those ideas. Good thinking, Kaylin. Kaylin's out here in the chat giving us good thinking ideas. Okay. I actually have a little bit extra of this yarn, so we'll use this. I was going to split the yarn to make it like half size, but I think we can kind of get away with it being a full size. We'll give it a shot like this. It's cool too because he's red, so maybe he's like angry. He's like a mad king. So the center of the mouth is going to go right there. So we're going to come out here and here. Maybe. Come on. There we go. go out there. We're gonna go 1, 2 stitches over. I love this part when I pull, and you can kind of see the face come into shape as I pull this tighter. Whoop. It looks like he's got a nice smile, but we're actually gonna make it a frown, so we're gonna pull that up like that. So like this. And then we'll go around that center stitch. Up. Honestly, this kind of just looks more crab-like anyhow, even without the frown part of it all. You know? And then it needs eyebrows for sure, but I do like the frown. How do you feel? Like it? I like it. I think it's pretty good. We'll stick with that. All right, just double knot it. 1, and then 2. Cut the yarn. Probably use this for stuffing. And there's our mouth. I like the frown. I think the frown is pretty good. Also, it won't be a problem too much because we're gonna have Amber, you're so funny. We're gonna have a mustache and face. Amber said he's very upset when his butler brought him a smoothie with sand in it. I like that. He's upset about his smoothie with sand in it. That's funny. Okay. And no tiny umbrella. On top of that, sand in it with no umbrella? No, no, no. All right, so there's our face. I don't actually think, I think we'll customize the rest of the face after they're sewn closed. I think that's probably the safest move. So let's get back to crocheting then. All right, so we've got, where am I? Where am I? Who am I? Huh? What time is it? What year is it? Oh no. All right, we are on to round 13 of the main pattern. Okay, easy enough. Last 2 rounds are really easy. Okay. And hey, again, if you haven't yet, give this video a like down below. Thank you to whoever's giving all those little hearts. I see it. You rock. 1 single, 1 invisible decrease. I'm gonna guess that's Tina. I'm gonna guess. By the way, hi Tina. Hello everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. What are you guys up to today? Anybody working on anything fun? What's anybody working on a work in progress? If so, what are you making? I'm always curious of what other people are crocheting. I made up with a friend today, Maggie, who has little rats. They're so cute. And I was like, girl, you need to start making outfits for your rats. If I had little rats, I would absolutely make outfits for them. I've actually made a bunch of outfits for my cats. I have a box of cat hats, which I've been wanting to create tutorials for, but I just haven't had the time for it. Okay, so that's gonna be the end of round 13 there. Before I continue to our last round, let's go ahead and start stuffing it just a little bit. We don't need to get too crazy with the stuffing yet. Yeah, I think this will be good. We'll start with just some regular stuffing, getting into all the cracks and crevices. Making sure it's over the eyes. And we're going to sew the legs and the arms and stuff on after it's already sewn closed. Just as it's a little easier to do it that way for this pattern. Been working on some new patterns, by the way. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to the chat, to everybody that's part of Club Crochet. I'm really sorry it's taking me so long to come out with the mini T-Rex pattern that we made on that one live stream. I've actually redesigned it to be a little bit better. So I'm kind of glad that I haven't come out with it yet because it's given me opportunities to make sure it's perfect. So I'm still working on it. And in the meantime, I've worked on a few other mini dinosaurs. So there's going to be some other mini dinosaurs coming soon. All right, before I do this last round, let's go ahead and throw in this extra thread as part of our stuffing. You know, save on waste. We could use a lot of saving on waste nowadays. Okay. Pretty good. I'm liking how they're coming together. I like how much that stuffing really kind of like filled in the body too. It made it less like flat on the top and more like kind of like a real crab shape. Cool. Let's continue on. Shoop. And our last round of crocheting for our crab is going to be a decrease in each stitch. Shout out again to Cooper in the chat, who is kicking butt and making sure that everybody has the links they need. Really appreciate you, Cooper. And hey, how does the sound again, by the way? How's everything sounding? Is the music too loud? It feels like it might be too loud, but I don't know. Can you tell what we're listening to, by the way? I think it's kind of obvious, but I don't know. All right, last stitch right there. That's going to be the end of our crocheting, at least for the crab itself. Next part, when we bring out our crochet hook, is going to be for adding all of our customizations, making the crown and stuff. Okay, do we want any extra stuffing? I think we could do just this much more stuffing in the very bottom of it. Just to make sure he's not too flat-bottomed. He's a king. He should be full, a nice hefty crab. Like that. Pretty good. Like it. I think maybe even more stuffing on the sides. Let's see if I can't get a little bit of stuffing into the edges of our crab. And again, if you have name ideas, go ahead and throw them as soon as you can into that comments on that post, because eventually we're going to use my 4 favorite names and you guys are going to vote on your favorite. And it does sound like we got some really good ones though. Okay. That's pretty good. Alright. Now we're just going to sew it closed and then we'll start adding all the limbs on before we really get to the customizations. I'm very excited to customize it. And last one right there. Nice. Pull that nice and tight. Hide this end in. Shoop. And then we'll just come close. And there's our body. Oh. Looking nice and chunky. Love it. All right. Now we get to finally start adding in sewing together our piece with all of these little bips and bops and stuff like that. So that should be fun. Let's see what happens here. We're gonna start with actually we should probably start by looking at the crochet pattern. We made our legs. Yeah, we put together our claws. Now we need to sew it together. All right, the arm segments go about 6 stitches away. You know, it'd probably be nice for us to just reference the final one to make sure that it's in the right spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, this one. Okay. All right. Start with this claw. And this part's kind of just tedious, so let's hang out, chat. What you guys up to? Ooh, Sniper Red Claw? That's a good name. It is not. No, we are listening to... Yeah. What we were listening to is a playlist of Pokemon songs in a jazz vibe. Jazzy Pokemon songs. Yeah, I think we'll sew it like this so it's a little bit down. Or should we sew it like this so it's a little up? We should sew it like this so it's a little up. That makes more sense to me. Okay. So, bottom to up top, that. 6 stitches away, 1. Okay. That. Yeah, perfect. 1. And this is where I was talking in the beginning of our last stream. 6, perfect. About how easy it is to sew on these limbs. So like, it's one of the things I really like about this pattern is there is sewing, but it's almost like attaching. They're like so easy to sew on, and they kind of have their own spaces and stuff. So it's not like, because you know me, I do not like sewing things together. So having it be like sewing, but not too complicated of a sewing project is kind of nice. And see, there we go. So now it's like, it's sewn on there. And we're going to double knot to the other end there. But that's the arm sewn on. And we can turn the claw to be in the right shape. But he's already kind of got it like out a little bit. So maybe curve it a little bit like that. Yeah, nice. So now he's got his cool claw out. Cool. All right. Lots of requests last week for a lobster, and I have definitely heard ya. So everybody out there in the chat that have been like, you should make a lobster. Heard. We got like 3 emails last week about people saying we should make a lobster too. So that was kind of cool to see. So I will work on that. Kaylin, it sounds like you have like 2 amazingly good ideas. Do them both. Oh my gosh. Cooper, good for you. Cooper is on a creative kick right now. That is so exciting, dude. I love it. Wait, 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, good. 1 moment. 1, 2, 6. Okay, we're gonna start here and work our way up. Cooper, that's so exciting. You're learning piano and you're learning to sew. I've always wanted to learn to sew. I tried learning piano once upon a time and then I got sick of it and decided to learn ukulele instead. Now I know how to play ukulele pretty good, actually. And then I came all the way back around to piano by learning how to play accordion when I was in high school. And honestly, I would not say I'm an accordion player. I'm not very good. But I did know how to play it once upon a time. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to pull this nice and tight. That. Bad. Okay, 1 and 2. Nice. All right, so there's our claws sewn on. Hey, look how quick that was. How long was that? Like 5 minutes to sew on claws? Love that. We're gonna turn this claw around so that it's the right shape as the other one. And now we've got our 2 claws sewn on there. Pretty good, well put together, perfectly positioned to hold maybe a trident if we have the time. Okay, next we want to just sew on our legs. You just spilled beer in your bed. Rule number 1, Tina, do not drink beer in bed. Drink coffee in bed. Okay, now the legs. Now I will say the legs are a little bit tedious just because there's 8 of them. But just like the arms, They're not that bad. And this time I don't want it shaping upwards. I want it actually facing downwards like that. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna do 1, 2 stitches away. That'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And maybe we do, let's see, what did I do on this guy? So from this arm I did, I did that. So I did 1, 2 stitches away. Yeah, okay. So that's what we're gonna mimic. So from this end. Perfect, okay. 1. 2. And 3. Boom. Yeah, nice. So there's one of our legs. Pretty quick, pretty easy. Keep going. Eyeball itchy. Eyeball itchy! Cooper said, if you're not supposed to drink beer in bed, then why does beer in bed sound so good? Uh-oh, my phone is running out of batteries. We're gonna have to switch that over in just a second. If you didn't know, I use my phone actually as our camera today. So eventually it runs out of batteries and I need to plug it in. And I don't have a plug that's set up in the right spot yet. Because I keep forgetting. But I can fix that. Alright, there's our legs. And we're going to pull that nice and tight. There we go. There's our second leg sewn on. That's looking pretty good, I think, right? Would you agree? I feel like it looks pretty good. Yes. Yes. Alright, we're going to double knot these and cut them. And we are 1/4 of the way done with our legs already, which was pretty quick, especially when you have this many things to sew on. All right, there's one. I'd like to learn piano though. Now that I'm thinking more about how Cooper's learning piano, I'm like, that would be really cool. I want to relearn piano. I hated when I was learning it because I was in I was in elementary school and I was forced to learn it. And I do not like learning things that I'm forced to learn. That is maybe it's just an American trait, but it's definitely a Louis trait. I do not like being told what I need to learn. I'd rather follow a passion when it comes. And so when I was in high school, I was forced to learn in elementary school, I was forced to learn how to play piano by doing, my mom would send me to piano classes and I hated it because of that. But now looking back, sorry Mr. Camera, now looking back, I kind of wish I took it seriously, you know? But ain't that just the way? Alright, let's keep going. One stitch over to be right there. Actually, you know what? We're going to do 2 stitches over. This music maybe is a little too jazzy. I'll see if I can find a better album after this. Just kind of, it's starting to feel a little like elevator music-y. Okay, pull that nice and tight. And our first cluster of legs is sewn on. One and two. How great for you. Look at you, Mr. Crab. You got some legs on there now, and you got some arms. You're looking very cute. And now we got to add the other legs on there before we boil you alive. All right, we're gonna switch cameras. Not cameras. We're gonna switch plugs here so that my camera doesn't die. Okay. We're gonna be very careful doing this. Problem solved? Problem solved. All right, let's find a better playlist that's less jazzy, more awesome. There we go. Yeah, baby. DK Future Funk. I'm into it, dude. Yeah. I like it. King Alfie. I like that name. Senor Alfie. All right, next leg. Nice. Come on. There we go. Nice and tight. All right, 1 out of 4. Nice. Okay. King Hubert. I like King Hubert. Yeah, King Alfie I like better than King Alfonso. But I like them both, honestly. They're both pretty good names. Hey, again, if you haven't yet, give this video down below a like. Just because we're looking to get enough likes to untangle a giveaway next live stream. So if you want to get a giveaway, try to get this video to 120 likes. If we don't get to that, that's all right. There's always next time. But if we do, we'll do a giveaway. Maybe for a kit. We haven't done a kit giveaway in a while. Maybe for Lava Run, that would be cool. If you didn't know, I just came out with a board game called Lava Run. It's a game where you help a dinosaur like escape a volcano and stuff. It's really cool if you haven't already seen it or got it. I'm really proud of it. I think we need to start doing more live streams of me playing the game with Jules or maybe even the audience. That'd be kind of fun. All right, there's 2 legs. Nice. Two more. So we go from here, we go 1, 2 over. You want it there though. Okay. Like there? Yeah, and the last one's 2 stitches away. Okay, got it. That feels like a little too far over though. I'm gonna try to move it over one more. Up there instead. I like the funk. Alright, pull that nice and tight. Alright. One more leg to go. Wait. Okay. Now one more leg to go. And then we can finally get working on the customizations, starting with a giant crown. And we were happy with how big that crown that I drew was. Am I right in saying that? Because it feels right to me. Like, it's not too big. I don't want him to just be a crown, you know? I'm gonna have it go over this stitch. Boom. Uh-oh. All right. Tie that nice and tight. Those look like a pretty good distance away from each other. Pretty accurate, right? Cool. Okay, now technically, this is going to be the end of the crab part. How exciting. We've crocheted an entire giant crab to add to our arsenal, and we've got our second crab made. Look at how cool he looks. There's the bottom, there's the top. Of course the claws can spin, so we can keep them inwards if we wanted to. Love him. We got him kind of pointed upwards right now, like he's like, what you want some? I love him. I love him. Click click. Okay, next up, Amber. Oh my gosh, you missed the craziest thing, dude. A giant roly-poly rolled through my wall, destroyed this office. It was crazy. It was like almost like an earthquake happened. It was just wild. And then he apologized profusely, and then a bunch of woodland critters came in, fixed everything, and they left. And that's what you missed. So you really missed that was a big thing that you missed. Or maybe none of that happened. I don't know. Okay, next up we're gonna make a crown, a gigantic crown. Let's get some yellow yarn here. And we want a pretty big crown. Probably gonna be that big. And I got an idea for this. We're gonna start with just trying to think about what's the easiest way to actually sew this onto the head later. It's probably gonna be easiest for us to do it. Serpentulate, I like it. Probably gonna be easiest to do it like a long chain that we connect. So I'll leave this long end just for sewing onto the head. Maybe like that long. That should be good. And I'll say it out loud just for anybody that's rewatching this later. We're gonna chain. I'll start by like chaining 10. 9, 10. Let's see how that's gonna go. Okay, I think we can get to. Let's try 15. That's 15 chains. If we connect it together like that, it'll actually get bigger than the chain actually is. So I think that's pretty good, because then we could go up, 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 and then do like points on it. I think it's pretty good. We will want it to be even. That's all right. Okay, so chain 15. I'm gonna go to our first chain that we made right here. Let's see. Yeah, like that. Boom. And then I'm just gonna single crochet. I'll crochet around this tail end just for the first one. Like that. Okay, there we go. Chain 15, slips. Actually, I don't even think I slip stitched, did I? No, I just started single crocheting to the first chain we made, but that's totally fine. We're gonna just do that. We're just gonna single crochet into every chain around. I started with my first chain there, and let's see, do we want to increase it already? No, I think we'll increase up in the next round, so that way it kind of like, I think, because we can make it kind of like get like a fold over shape, which I think might look really silly. Thank you, Crochet Girl. Appreciate ya. Hope you're having a great day. Nice. All right. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep crocheting around right now, and then in the next round I'm going to use red to create. Well, okay, so there's two options we can do here. You know what? We're going to try something really weird in the next round, actually. I don't know if it's going to work. Actually, it probably won't. Yeah, never mind. I was going to add beads in it, but I realized that I can't get my crochet hook into it, and I can't get them on the... If I wanted to add beads, I would have already had them on there. So I think it's not going to work out with beads. But that's okay. We can always sew beads on afterwards and just do color changes for the main part. Let's count our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is going to be this one. There we go. That's going to be technically the end of round 1 for the bottom of our crown. You kind of see how it's going to shape together. That part's going to get sewn on, right? Now the next round that we're going to do here, I'm going to do an increase. So we're going to do 4 stitches and then an increase repeated 3 times around is the goal. But we also want to have, hold on, I need to do math in my brain. So if we want 18 stitches around, 3 single crochets and then an increase, then the first stitch and third stitch should be red if we want to have like a lot of red gems in it. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. Okay, so let's get our red yarn here. Maybe we can, do we have like a different color? I don't know, what do you guys think? Should we do red for the gems of the crown, or should we do a different color to make it different than the actual body color? I'm open to suggestions for sure here. What do you think? Red for the crown or alternative color crown? I like how the claws kind of like poke up on this guy. We could do blue, like emeralds. Oh wait, that's green, but we can do emeralds as well. Yeah, we could do different colors. That's a good idea, Crochet Girl. I kind of like that idea too. Loop and Pearl Podcast. Like a purple and blue gem and red. Yeah, that could work. Let's see what colors we got here. We've also got this nice cyan. That could be kind of fun. Hey, purple. Where did my purple go? Music's fun. I don't know. What do you guys think? Royal blue. Okay, I like royal blue. Blue gems with the yellow crown. Yeah, okay, we got multiple people saying blue now. Let's do blue. I like that idea. I think that's a good, Is this a good enough blue? Or do you want it more of like a royal, like a darker blue? Let me see. Do I even have that color? Going into the stash. stepped on something I shouldn't have stepped on. This one's a little bit darker. What do we think? That one's good. Okay, we'll stick with this one then because I think it's a little bit more vibrant. Okay. So we're gonna do one stitch with, one stitch without. Well, the first one we're not gonna do with. So one without to start it. Okay. This would be without. And then like that. Should I do it as like a bit? You know what? Yeah, we're gonna do like a, instead of just doing a regular stitch, we're gonna do like a mini, like a bump. So like a two-step bobble to create more of like a real look on it. So one with, one without. And that's 1, 2, 3. This is actually our increase stitch right here. Is this going to be too many though? This might be too many. We might need to like kind of lessen these later on. Let's see. That. It's not bad, right? Is this going to be too many? What do we think? It might be, because like that's like, it's going to be often. It's going to be like all the way around with like these gems. It kind of looks cool. Yeah, this is a song from Donkey Kong. Yeah, it is. Good catch there, Yarn. Oh, it's Yarn over Hook. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you noticed that. Hi, how are you? Do you have a stream today? I think she has a stream today. That's Sammy. Hi, Sammy. How are you? I was just thinking about you earlier today. 1, 2, 3, and then increase right here. Yeah, we are making a crab right now. By the way, if you see me talking to other people in the chat, Sammy, it's because we have a portrait and landscape version of today's live stream going on simultaneously. I should tell you all about that. You just finished. Oh, cool. Well, I hope it went well for you today. I'm doing all right. Yeah, pretty busy. I took on way too many projects, but you know what's new with us crocheters taking on too many projects? Am I right? Increase there. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Now we're gonna up it right here for a second. I did my stitches wrong. Oh, it's supposed to be 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm increasing at the wrong rate. Okay, wait, that's gonna change where it's gonna change the amount of emeralds too, which is totally fine actually, because I do think this is too many anyhow. So let's take these out and redo this so that I can do it correctly. So if it's gonna be, okay, if we're going up from 15 to 18, we want 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. I was doing only 3 and then increase. So 4 single crochets and then an increase. Yeah, I'm talking to the voices again. Yeah. 4 single crochets, then an increase 3 times, and we want there to be a even number amount of stitches. We could do 1, 2 in bobble, 1, 2, 1 bobble. Oh, that might be an awkward distance for him though. Yeah, crochet math loading. Exactly, Amber. You know what? Let's just draw this out real quick. So if I got 15 stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We got 15 stitches around that we're working with. And we're going to increase it up to 8. We'll say that this is the end of the round. So we got, if we're increasing it up, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6 there. 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6 will be at the end. So that's the increased stitches. Now we want to have gems placed evenly throughout this round. There's 18 stitches to work with. I don't want every other stitch because we realized that was too much anyhow. We also don't want it to be where these increases are. So what we could do is on either side, so we can make that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, like that. But that kind of won't look very even. We could instead do it's kind of hard to make this even, huh? It is kind of hard. All right, I think we'll do math. We got this. Yeah. 2 stitches and then 4 on the repeats. Yeah, we could do every 3. That makes a lot of sense. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then everyone technically has 2 around. The reason I don't terribly want to do that is because having those baubles in where the increases are is going to make them look like they're close to the other ones. So like these 2 are going to look really close together, whereas these 2 are going to look really far away because they're within the increase itself. That's my dilemma. And that's why I'm like, ugh, I don't know if I want to do that. But we can try it. Yeah, we'll do every 3 and see how it looks. But that's why I was kind of like, didn't really want to do that because I was like kind of worried it was going to squish together. But let's give it a shot. Every 3 stitches. Thank you for the thoughts there. So we're going to do every 3 stitches. So 1, 2, we're actually on it in the right spot there. And we're going to do a bump, which is basically a 2 double crochet bobble for each one of these emeralds. And then we'll, boom, tighten it. So every 3 stitches, right? So 1, and we'll just crochet around it. It might bleed through our yarn a little bit, but whatever. We gotta make sacrifices. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. This was an increase. So that beam is in the same, not beam, bump is in the same stitch for an increase. Yeah, maybe it won't look too close. Like these 2 are, I feel like it is gonna look too close, but whatever. Let's find out. 1, 2, and then our little jeb right here. 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then this one's gonna be an increase. Oh no, wait, no. Wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, increase. 1, 2, 3. So this one will be, yes, an increase. Yes, and then this one is another bump. This music's sick. 1, 3. Oh no, I'm supposed to do 4. Ah, I did it again. 1, 2, 3, 4 increase. 1, 2, 3. Gosh almighty. I keep messing that up. I know how to math. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our increase. Is that what I did? Wait, did I? Yeah, maybe I did do it right. I don't know. Whatever. try that again. Okay. Ah! Split the yarn. 1. That was our increase, so 1, 2, 3. And then this one's, no, 4. Got it, our very last stitches. Got it. Okay. This one is our increase in the same. Ah! Yeah, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I think 1, 2. Nice. Okay, we're good. We're Gucci. Let's see how that looks. I'm gonna just do single crochets in this next round, but we'll work around this tail end just for the first one. Pull everything nice and tight. Cut it, and let's look at it. Do they look too close together? No, they look pretty evenly spaced. Okay, cool. I think that's good. Thank you for all the thoughts. Thank you, Sammy. I think that's pretty good. Let's look at it in our head real quick. Okay, so because we do those increases, I'm hoping that it kind of starts to arch its way out. And then we're going to do, I think, a similar distance for the crown part. But we'll do one more. Oh. Don't want to accidentally pull that out tighter. We're going to do one round here of just single crochets just to see how everything is kind of coming together. I don't think we need an increase, any more increases. But let's find out. I'm like low-key worried that it's gonna pull in, which we don't want. We want it to kind of angle outwards. Yeah, I don't think it'll be bad. I wish I had like a shiny, like actual emerald sapphire color yarn. There's a yarn dyer that I really like, whose name is eluding me. I cannot remember their name off the top of my head, but they make shiny yarn. They weren't at this year's SoCal Fiber Fair, which I was hoping they would be so I could get some yarn from them, but next time. I'm open to, if anybody has suggestions for shiny yarns or really colorful yarns, I am open to suggestions. I'm always looking for more. Thank you so much, Crochet Girl. Do the front loops only? The front loops only, I don't think that's going to look very good if I do the front loops only there. Because it won't, like, it'll just kind of, I mean, it might, like, pop out slightly. Maybe. I just know it'll show those back loops. Oh, let's see. This. And then the next round, I'm going to do... I actually think we will increase in the next round and do the points with their increases. 20 stitches with 5 points is kind of what I'm thinking. But let's see. I don't want it to flare out too... my problem is I'm worried it's going to flare out too quickly. And it... I mean, I could try it. Let's see here, though, real quick. Because this next round with the increases is going to flare out. Okay. Crown is looking crowny. Yeah, I don't want it to flare out too much more than that. I'm going to try doing increases in this round with the spikes so that it really flares out. So it's going to be like a... We're going to go up from 18 to... We can go to 24. It might be too much. Then it might like really flare out. Well, maybe that'll look good. Yeah, let's do it. And then in between each increase, we'll do a spike. That's what we'll do. Let's see how that looks. And we can always pull it back. No worries. Okay, so from 18 to 24 is going to be 4 stitches and then an increase. 1, 2... Wait, 1, 2, if we want 24 stitches Maybe I do want more spikes in it, actually. Yeah, I think we do want more spikes. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times 6. Oh no, so it's 2. Got it. Okay. 2 single crochets, then an increase, and in between each increase, we're gonna do 1, 2. Let's try 3 stitches. Skip 1, 2. Let's try that. Let's see how this looks. I don't know. This might make it too pointy. No, actually, I kind of like that. And then another one in the same stitch. Yeah, because then it'll like, just at the very top will flare out like that. That's kind of what we're going for. Okay, let's try that. We'll keep doing that around. 1, 2, and then in this third one, it's an increase, but with every increase, we do chain 1, 2, 3, and then we skip 2, and then slip stitch into the third for like a long picot. Not long, but longer than many. And then a single crochet in the same stitch. Yeah, and then it'll like kind of be like gesture, you know, like, so it's flaring out, but it's not. Well, we'll see. We'll just keep doing that around. Let's see how it goes. 1, 2, and 1, chain 2, or chain 3, pull tight, slip stitch. The pull tight is important to make it into a point, by the way. And then 1 in the same stitch. Sha-la-la. Nice. Yeah. Because then, see? Yeah, that looks good. That is a giant crown. I will say, I think this qualifies as a giant crown, by the way. Because we got the vote for a giant crown. And I do think he needs some facial hair. I think we need big ol' eyebrows. I think we need maybe a mustache. I kind of want to make a trident, but I also kind of don't. I just feel like he's got to be holding something. So we'll see. I think I could probably make a trident really quick too, by just doing like pipe cleaner art instead of doing actual crochet. But let's see. Let's see how everything comes together first. 3, tighter, slip stitch into that back loop. Nice. 1 in the same stitch. Yeah. That is a big crown. Gosh, I wish I made those gems shinier, but what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? All right, last increase right here, which I think will be the end of our crown. Another in the same stitch. Very good, very good. I'm gonna do 1 more single crochet to kind of flatten the back out, and then a slip stitch. And make sure that it looks all correct. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think that's pretty good. Keep all these gems poking out. Okay, now let's go ahead. I'm gonna cut. I'll cut these 2 tail ends because we don't want them coming out. I don't think anything's gonna come apart. Famous last words. And then we'll cut this end. Do we need a long end? You go like that long. And we'll pull it out. I feel like, I mean, it's not that giant of a crown, but it is pretty big. And y'all did vote for giant crown. I'm just gonna have this tail end go all the way down. All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Like that. And we'll pull it And that way we can use this end for knotting it onto the head too. Fix the crown up a little bit. What do we think? All you see is flying fingers? Yeah, sorry. Here we go. What do we think? I think that looks pretty good. And then I'll just sew on, like I'll sew this on. Maybe we should add the facial hair first and then sew it on. What do we think, guys? I need to get my camera angle up while I'm doing this because I can't really see where I'm. There we go. Oh, is this like, did it like tilt up? It totally did. Man, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't realize the camera got all wonky. Dude, I don't know why that happens. I think it like locks into my hand and then it changes the camera. Or I bumped it. But my bad. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so I'm thinking like this. Doing eyebrows. Maybe a big mustache. Trident. I actually think, what about the crown like angled just a little bit off too? Yeah. Let me get some facial hair colors. Okay, so I swear I have one. I have another fuzzy gray somewhere, but I can't find my fuzzy gray, but well, I mean, we have this fuzzy gray. This could work. This is really fuzzy, though. You know? I feel like this is too much. Well, actually, maybe it's not. That could be really funny. You know? Like eyebrows and a beard with this stuff. Or white. White could totally work. Imagine those eyebrows. Imagine that mustache. And then I do have this like blue, which also kind of works. It's not the best though. I don't know. Maybe it isn't bad. What do you guys think? What color? Or I have another fuzzy gray somewhere that I can try to find as well. And then we also have fuzzy blues. I got this one. That could work. We've used this in the past. Actually, the blue's pretty good too. I don't know. I'm torn. See you later, Sammy. Thanks for joining. We'll see you on your live stream. By the way, guys, Sammy does a live stream every, like, 3 times a week, so go check her out. She makes some really cool stuff. They have, like, this fun crew. It's, like, this fun little community. So go check them out. Yarn Over Hook Social. Okay, so what color do you guys think? Anybody else? Anybody else got any thoughts there? I think we'll do. Oh look, I found a pipe cleaner in that. Let's just see what this gray looks like. For right now. I don't know if I've ever even used this. It's so soft. It feels crazy soft. Okay. Cooper's fan of the white/blue yarn. Okay. Not what I was expecting, but that's cool with me. Let me try with this yarn since I already just threaded it onto the needle. And then we can try it with the blue one as well. Because my thought is we can go boom, boom, and this does a lot of heavy lifting for us too, which is kind of nice. You know? Boom. Actually, I do kind of love that. And then how many stitches was that away? There? Yeah. And then if I came out like right at the top of the mouth like that for a mustache, you know? And then I went like over to like here. And then we did it again. I kind of love that though. These look really good as... Yes? Okay, cool. Oh, this is the one you meant. Okay, cool. Let's get this blue out of the way then. So move this coffee so I don't dip yarn into my coffee. That would be smart. That would just be a smart thing to do. Okay. Boom. Wow, it kind of gave it its own angling even. That looks so good, I think. Okay, let's take this one over. It's like right before the arm, so like all the way over to here. And it's on the same layer as the eye. Great. Let's see how that looks. He kind of gives them like mutton chops. Which is great. I'm cool with mutton chops. Ah. It's hard to thread onto a needle though. Yeah? What do we think, team? I feel like that actually kind of slaps. It kind of looks great. Does he still look like a crab? Imagine the crown. Yeah, I think he still looks like a crab. I don't think it's taking too much away, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah? So, Celia's cracking up right now. Hello, Emerald Turtle. Great time to come in. Emerald Turtle's like, I haven't been here for a while, and then I come in and they're making this crab with a giant facial hair. I like it. I like it. That turned out actually surprisingly better than I was expecting too. Good choices all around. Tuck that in there. And I love how it just kind of like shaped itself. Like I barely even needed to do anything. It kind of like made itself into the right shapes. I could add some white around the eyes to give it more of a cartoonish look. Let's try it. Let's try to add just like a little bit of white around the eyes. It won't hurt to try. You can always remove it. But I think it might give it more of like a kind of like a personality, you know what I mean? Let's give it a shot. So I'm actually going to go into where the eye is, like this. Right under where the eye is. It'll come out pretty much right there. Okay. Don't worry about that facial hair, we'll fix that. And then if this went around the eye like that, would it add more to it? Does it look more like cutesy? I think it does, right? He looks kind of like kinder. I think so. I think this is not a bad idea. Here, let's get a little bit more yarn here. We'll go in through like right here. We just need to be careful with it when we're pulling it in, so we don't pull it too tight, or else it'll just get hidden. And that's really the trickiest part, is like just trying to pull this through. Here, let's get this fur, let's get his facial hair out of the way there. And just kind of like trying to pull it in just enough so it's like that. You know? Just so it gives a little bit of white to the outside of the eye. I actually think maybe even more than that, like that. Okay? Right? Does that help? I think it does. Right? It just gives a little bit more character to him. Yeah? Okay, cool. We're gonna go with it. Tina is dedicated. That is absolutely true. 1, one. And we just want to not double knot this too tight or it will pull that white into the face. And I might have just done that by accident, but let's find out. Tuck that back in. Nice. I think that looks pretty good, actually. Get that eyebrow hair out. Nice, nice. Okay, and then we'll just do the same thing on this side. And then we can add the crown, and then I think we got enough, you know, don't hold me to this, but it feels like we'll have enough time for a trident. And I'm kind of feeling like a trident just makes a lot of sense here. So we'll try dent. That facial hair out. Don't want to work around that. Probably should have done these eyes after or before we added the facial hair, but I didn't do that, so it do be like this. Okay, we'll go up to like, I'm gonna go up like a little higher there. Good. Out through where this other end is, and now is the tough part again. We need to just be careful as we pull this in. A, not accidentally pull in our facial hair, which looks like we're doing okay at that. B, just not to pull in there. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's a good addition. I think that's a really good addition, actually. Okay. All right. Good, good. And hey, name suggestions. Get them going now. We are going to be, after I add our crown, we'll throw the name suggestions into a vote, and we'll vote on it as I make a trident. Or yeah, I think a trident makes a lot of sense. I'm glad we didn't choose robe. I just feel like a robe wouldn't really look right on this guy. But the facial hair looks great. I think we could do pauldrons still, which I think was a suggestion by Timothy last week. Was that correct, Timothy? Were you the suggestion that said to do armor? I think you were. Look at that face, though. That crab's looking good. Looking good, buddy. Okay. Crown time. I think we can sew the crown fully on, right? We've already customized them so much that sewing the crown on just feels right. So we're just going to go for it. Is this the from the end? Yes, okay. So this one's from the end, and this one's the one that we're actually using to sew on. So we're going to start with the end. And hey, again, if you haven't yet, like this video down below. We're looking to try to beat 125. If we can, we're going to do a giveaway next live stream. So we almost got 125 last live stream too, actually. We're going to go, I'll put it right here. And we'll just go and okay. Okay. So that funny. Okay. Sound like a. Sometimes I feel like I talk and I sound like a substitute teacher. Everybody get into their seats, okay? All right. I think I'm gonna sew it on off center by accident. To be completely honest with you, Celia. I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit like that. So I'm just gonna hold it just like this. Oopsies, hold on. Let me go in through that stitch. Nice. And I don't actually think we need to sew every stitch of this crown on either. I think we can probably get away with like sewing on every 3 or something. Just enough to keep it attached. So like the next part would be like here-ish. I'm just gonna be careful while I do this though. And then we're gonna go into this stitch here, into the body. Come out near the center right there. Might tie it around something now. Boom. Okay, let's try maybe like that stitch. Feels right. Maybe better to do that one actually. Let's do this one. Come out over here somewhere. Tight enough onto the head. I think I might also like add a little bit of detail to the bottom of this to kind of hide the seam. But we'll see. Actually, I think I am going to do that. Let's see. Pull that in. Nice. Okay. And this stitch here, we do want to make sure that last part is sewn on well, so we'll come out where this end is. Make sure it's around the claw. That claw. Put this end in. Do I want to hide the seam or not? I don't know if we really need to. What do you think? I was gonna just do like a strand around. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. So we're gonna come out there, and I'll come out through this stitch here. This is very well. I mean, this might not matter at all, but let's find out. So I'm gonna pull that in, and then my idea is around the outside here. If I just go all the way around it with my yarn, like that. It'll look like the bottom of the crown. So it'll kind of make it look a little bit more like it's sitting on top of the head. Yeah, actually, I think that does actually help a lot. So let's keep that. Back in, out through the bottom. We do need this part to be kind of sewn on a little bit tight so it doesn't ever come undone, but not too tight. That's probably good. Yeah, it shouldn't go anywhere. All right, and then we'll just double knot this. And let's get a name suggestion going as we make a trident. And I've got a few ideas on how to do a trident. We can crochet it, but I think it might be easier to use pipe cleaners to kind of really get a perfectly shaped trident. I don't know how I messed this up so bad. Knot is not going back in. There we go. Perfect. All right. There's our crown. Get his mustache out of his eyes. Hey, come on, right? This guy's looking great. Look at this. Wow. Okay, he just needs a trident. Let's put him right here, and let's get name suggestions going. All right, so let me refresh this page, and I'm gonna pick my 4 favorites. Ooh, Tina's got a lot of good ones in here too. All right, I'll go ahead and copy that one in. Hold on. We're going to be voting on this on the horizontal live stream, by the way. So if you are currently watching on the portrait mode, go to the landscape mode to vote. Okay, name our king crab. We got 1. We do have, to be fair, Timothy put in Sir Shelton John, and I love it. But we have a Melton John already, which is a snowman. I love Claudius. That's a great idea. I'll put in Shelton John though. Snip Snap. I like Snip Snap actually. King. Let's try that. King. Snippy Snappy. I'm gonna add an I to the end of yours, Tina. I'm altering it slightly. Yeah, we'll go with. Oh wait, there's other ones up here. Oh, that's a good name, Kaylin. Yeah, the last one we're going to do is Kaylin's. I love that name. Okay, so name suggestions. Vote is now live in the chat. The vote options are King Crabberlicious, King Claudius, King Snippy Snappy, or King Lithodus. And Lithodus is the genus of crab, so it's kind of like a scientific name as well. So go ahead and vote now on the name suggestion. I get to vote as well, so I'm going to open that up. And while I'm voting on that, we are also going to start making a giant, not a giant, but a trident. So I think we'll probably use a felt for this. Oh man, it's kind of hard to join the horizontal one. I didn't realize how difficult that was. This dance is fun. This song is fun. Okay. All right. I have voted. Okay, so a trident. How are we going to do a trident? I think this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to start with this, and we're going to cover this in yarn. And I'm going to start by folding in half. Like that. And then that's going to be the center part of the trident. We'll go... Yeah, we'll go... like this. Yeah, that's gonna be good. And then down like that. Do the same thing over here. We'll go down like that. Make a little like giant arrow. And then I'll twist together this end, this, and we might connect this together onto another pipe cleaner maybe. Let's just twist this together for right now. We'll leave that bottom open because we might twist it together on another one. And then for this top part, I'm gonna take my needle and we're gonna go in between this and then twist it around it. So that way there's enough space to fit a needle, which is what we're gonna need when we add on the yarn to this part. Do this end too. Yeah, we're gonna need this space. This is a technique I came up with in high school, and I still use it all the time. And then this top one, we're gonna do the same thing. We'll just twist it all together. Okay, this part would go like that. Oh, that top one, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna untwist that top. Hold on. If the trident's kind of like this, right? I feel like that top one's a little long for the trident. So I'm gonna undo this top one. Here's my idea. If I undo it enough, and I make like 2 little barbs, it'll kind of save us space and stuff, is my thought. So if I open it up like this, and then I fold these parts in like that, and kind of like that, right? Bring this down. Bring this in. Like that. It'll be like a little mini trident on the trident. Okay. And this part, I'll just spin it like once or twice. Same as this side. Okay, so then now we've got like a little itty bitty trident there. And I know it looks really fuzzy right now, but those are kind of all the fuzz is going to get fixed. But now those are kind of more closely shaped. Looks pretty cool, actually. All right, now I'll grab another one because we want this to be big enough for him to hold. So, actually, you know what? We need this big enough to him to hold, and we need to make it go into the hand. Oh no, we don't really, because the claws can kind of grab it. So we can just. Well, I could just. Actually, you know what? I will. I'll make a little line part like this. Is that too long? That's too long, right? Yeah, that's too long. How long do we want it to be? Let's start with that. Like that long? Yeah, that long. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to take these two ends here and just kind of like wrap those two around it just to keep the new pipe cleaner in place. A little bit better. These two ends here are going to poke out, and then I'll twist them around. We're going to cut this part tighter, but this way we have like a little tiny end that'll stick into the body to keep the trident where it needs to be, like that, you know? Okay, so we'll do that. And then this bottom part, we just need to twist it together. And then we just need to wrap it with yarn. Now when I wrap it with yarn, I'm gonna make it really, I'm gonna try to do as much detail as I can. We'll probably do one whole part with just gold, or like, you know, yellow. And then we'll add some detail and then do another wrap in yellow on the handle so that we can surround the whatever colors we do with other yarn. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. Okay. All right, so now we've got like the general shape of it, right? Let's cut this end a little shorter. Kaylin has got it. Kaylin, you know what I love? I love that Kaylin's in on this battle, on our new game that we're making right now. Because you totally are picking up what I'm putting down. You get exactly why this new game that we're working on is so cool. And I just think it's awesome that you're part of it. Thanks again for being part of it, Kaylin. It really means a lot to me. Especially the fact that you're like always in the live streams too, so like we can actually talk about it. It's just really cool. Okay, now let's do the hard part, which is gonna be wrapping this entire thing with golden yarn, or yellow yarn. I think probably, Kaylin, what we'll do, because I was thinking a lot about this actually, how this is gonna work, is that I'm thinking we could do a like alternative versions of the characters, so that like maybe there's a crab, like the regular crab with a certain ability, and then maybe there's like a special, almost like a holographic. There's going to be holographic for all of them as well, but like there's special characters that you can, it's a rare piece to get this crab specifically, and he's got a slightly different ability and stuff. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't know yet. We're going to be doing a big update to it next week, by the way, so I'm working on that as well. I think let's start by going... Yeah, let's start by going up. Yeah. Let's start by going up it, like this. Hold on. I'm sorry, I realized first you need to go up it, like that. I need to attach it first. So 1, 2, this, and then I always take this tail end here, and we'll. Actually, you know what? We'll do that on the way back down. We'll just go up it first. Okay, we're gonna wrap almost all of it as we go up, but we'll have another opportunity for that later to thicken it up. And let's start by doing. We'll start by doing the arms section, like these sections first. Might be a little easier. Okay, so I kind of wrap up as much as I can up to the end. And when I get to the end here, we take our needle, and we'll go into the actual hole that we left there. Hey, my friend's having a kiddo today! His second kiddo! I'm so excited. I just remembered that. I'm gonna text him after this. There we go. 1. That. Nice. We got a knot. Do not. Do 2. Boom. I wish I had yellow pipe cleaners, but I actually ran out of my yellow pipe cleaners. It's kind of funny. I'm trying to format it in a way, Cooper, that is more like, that's going to be, so I don't want people to just keep having to buy like a bunch of booster packs and stuff like that. I want people to have the opportunity to get all the cards if they want to, and then there just to be like rarities on top of that. Because I don't like the idea of like, I just don't want a money grab, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I think the rarities are going to be enough rather than having like cards that you just can't get. But I don't know. No, that'd be a different person with their second baby. I think I need to get around just a couple more times here to really cover up the tip of this. Like, see, there's like a little bit extra there, so we're gonna try to get around that. Crush it. Okay, that's good. I'm actually going to unwind the yarn a little bit and then start crawling its way back down like this. That looks so cool. Okay, wait, this looks awesome. Now if we can keep this tight as we wind our way back down. All right, now the hard part's going to be mimicking this because it looks perfect to me. I mean, obviously it's not bent in the right position. You know, it'll be bent like that. But if I can get it like wound in the same way on all of them, it'll look really good. I'm just gonna keep it straight right now to keep it out of our way. And then we'll do this second part. See if I can't get around all of this. Pipe cleaner fuzz. Okay. 1. What a fun Wednesday live stream. Hey, what should we make on Friday, by the way? We're going to be doing a Valentine's Day live stream. Anybody have any suggestions or ideas on what they'd want to do for the Valentine's Day one? Part of me is kind of thinking we could do like we could do like an anatomical heart. That's what we did. I think we did that last year. I might be wrong. I don't know. I can't remember. Tangling all around myself. I'm open to ideas though. Oh, Kaylin, you made a mobile from the dinosaurs? That's so cool. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to one day be a dad. I'm gonna make so much stuff for my kids. I can just feel like my art is gonna totally like shift. I mean, to a degree, you know. I'll probably get back into making hats. I don't know if you knew this, but when I started crocheting, my first designs were all hats. I have like 20 to 30 hat designs that I never actually published on Club Crochet, but I have a lot of hats. All baby hats and stuff like that, because I really liked making little hats with little like faces and stuff on it. So I know that one day when I have a kid, I'm going to get back into hats a lot, I'm sure, but then my toys will change as well, probably. I don't know, I'm excited about the idea. Okay, let's see if I can't mimic the other side best we can. It's a little fat, a little bit fat there at the top. But actually, you know what? It's a little, is that too fat? It's not too bad. Okay. Nice. All right, last part. This part's going to be kind of hard. Actually, this isn't the last part either. We want to make, I think we go up first and then come back and fix the edges. Might be best way to do it. We'll see. This part's going to be annoying though. Cupid! That's right, that's what we were talking about, Celia. Thank you. I was thinking about doing Cupid. Nice. We do have that fuzz in the center we need to fix, but it's okay. Ah. Across the top, out the other side. Boom, like that. Cool. And we'll probably poke all this to be pointier soon. But now let's go back down to these ones. We'll start with this side. I'm gonna do my best to get these edges covered. I'm gonna break this needle by the end of this live stream. Not on purpose, just I can tell it's starting to fight me. There we go. Not too bad. Yeah, we're gonna have to use our pliers to really shape this into the position we want it to be after we're done covering it all. We're actually almost there. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay. All right. Whew. All right. Oh, stop getting stuck on things. Nice. Okay. Okay. I think the last part we need to like really wrap around the outside thing, so like after this it should be relatively smooth sailing, other than adding the detail to like if we want to add rubies or something to this. But as far as like covering up the tips, this should be the last one. Oh no, the bottom. We need to cover up the bottom too. I'm gonna leave the middle open. And don't worry, I know it looks really weird right now, but it'll look like a trident. I believe in us. One here. And then we'll go around the top part, cover up that end. And that, not bad. Okay, and then now we just start wrapping. One. Now we just start wrapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get my foot in the door. All right. And then we'll start going down. Okay. Now this part's going to be the part where I really want to cover up as much as I can. Actually, wait, you know what? I want to wrap this way. Nice. We'll wrap our way back down. Covering it best we can. All right. Last part's gonna be covering the bottom. Now, look at, isn't that a great trident? It looks just like a trident, right? No? Oh, well, let's fix that. First thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna use these pliers to pinch the top so that it's more pointy. And this part is more pointy and kind of bend it up. Okay, and then this part we're gonna bend up as well. Pinch that to be more pointy. Same thing on this side. Nice. So that's how it's a trident. It's a trident with like a little, I don't know, flare. Looks pretty good actually, I think. Right? If he was holding that, that looks like a cool trident. Okay. Now we just need to cover up all of the handle section. And we're gonna wrap around this yarn as we go down. Because this being too thick because it's the handle. Nice, that's looking pretty good. All right, last section of this to cover is going to be this bottom part and then working our way up the handle, and then we'll be done. What did we name him? Ooh, it's not very close. Vote. It's pretty close. There's only 14 people that voted. That's crazy. I'm having a dance party too. Wow, not a lot of votes on the name, but hey, the name that I voted for is currently winning. So if you have strong opinions on the name, go vote now or forever hold your cleats. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Camera. Did that mess the camera up? No. Okay. Almost done there. Nice. Cool. All right. Now back up, and we can get kind of a little heavy on this part. So I want it to be fully covered. Boom, 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 boom. All right, look at this. It's looking great. I think that's looking really, really good. We're gonna straighten it at the end because I like bent it so much. But whenever I make a pipe cleaner weapon like this, I always feel like it's very, I don't know. I feel like I'm like actually a like a weaponsmith. You know what I mean? Okay, so it's getting a little thick there at the handle, but that's all right. Just want to make sure it's covering everything. No, I'm gonna go around this part just a little bit, just so that when it gets shoved into the hand, it doesn't show any of the fuzz. Sorry, the hand, the claw, the claw. Okay, what if I did this? Is that cool? I feel like it's kind of cool. Right? Is it? Or is it just me? I kind of like it. You know, it looks like more, like it's got more detail or more like something about it. All right, let's go back down here, and then I'm gonna hide this on the inside of all of these stitches. This is kind of a really hard part, actually. That's pretty good. Here's our pliers. I gotta be careful here. Nice. So the idea is if I can just pull that nice and tight, it kind of knots itself in. Cut it. And I technically didn't have to make any knots at all. Look at that. All right, let's fix the little bits and bobs, straighten it out. I actually think we want it to be like this way. So that this way is forward. Did that mess it up? Nice, okay. Beautiful trident. Look at that. Come on, dude. That looks so cool. Looks sick. It looks so cool. Okay, now I'm gonna do this. We're gonna put this into his claw like this, so he doesn't ever lose it. So that's why I left this tail end part right there, so I can kind of like shove it into the claw itself, like that. And there you go, he's got his trident. Oh my gosh, dude, that is so cool. It's gonna be really hard to get a good picture of this, but dang, he looks cool. Okay, let's look at him from every angle. By the way, the name we voted on is official. We should add some blue to the trident. I don't wanna. I don't wanna. No, I think it looks pretty good. The name of it is King Claudius. King Claudius the Great and Powerful. And here we'll put his little mini one in his crown. Prince something. Prince Snippy Snappy is in the crown. And there's King Claudius looking swell. Perfect. Oops, sorry, Sorry, Prince. Oh my gosh, he's so cool looking. Okay, wait. Sorry, his prince keeps falling. Wait, we need to turn this claw a little bit more. Boom. Boom. Oh my gosh, he looks so cool, dude. I kind of want the claw to be like out more like that. Nice. And his little henchman. Here, we'll surround him in henchmen, and I'll get the camera angle a little bit better too. Here, he'll even have this big henchman in the back. Okay, let me see if I can get this camera angle better for us. Oh, this might be hard to do though. That maybe. Boom. We'll back him up. Oh, it's really hard to see on the portrait mode, but on landscape mode, guys, it looks so good. Maybe we can get him to stand up a little bit better. I might just so he he's like angling towards the camera better. Pull his claw in. So cool, dude. Look at that guy. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. I am a fan. I love him. Wow, King Claudius. Dude, this dude is dope. Wow. Everybody, give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you all so much for all the suggestions. And look at that. We did 3 of those customizations, by the way. Just, pat myself on the back there. We got the giant crown. We got the mustache, and we got the trident. I didn't make a robe, but honestly, I don't think he needs one. It's looking awesome, right? It's looking awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this stream. It was a very fun one. Fun little Wednesday live stream. Surprise, surprise. We're going to be live again on Friday. So this Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be live making something for Valentine's Day, maybe a Cupid. I'm open to suggestions, but I'm going to think it through a little bit more. If you like what's going on here and you think it's really cool, please give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss when we come out with new videos. We do live streams like this all the time. If this video gets 125 likes, we will... which it is not going to get 125 likes. But if it does somehow, we're going to do a giveaway on Friday. If not, then we'll do another goal on Friday and hope we can hit it. Yeah. Very fun live stream. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Pasta la pizza. Happy hooking. And I'll see you this Friday. Bye. Oh my gosh, stop. You hang up first. Oh my gosh. No, you hang up first. Stop. You're making me blursh. Oh my gosh, see you later. You hang up first. No, bruh, you hang up first. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Okay, bye.